Today we will start with a new chapter in moral science, chapter number 6, the hanging sword. Open your books to page number 28, the hanging sword. Now this chapter is about rights and responsibilities. Now many times what happens is people they are talking about rights, that this is a right and we should be allowed to do this, do a certain thing, and this is a right, we should be free to express our views, and we should be free to take our decisions, and this place should be given to us, it is a right and all that. But many times while we are talking about rights, we forget the other side of the same coin, and that is responsibilities. So rights, they always come hand in hand with responsibilities, and this chapter is about that only. And so we begin with that, are you always demanding and complaining? So many times you as children also, you talk to your parents about your rights, that if they don't let you do what you want, so you say no, now we are big enough and it is a right, we should be able to decide for ourselves. And so we talk about our rights, and we many times ignore the responsibility that comes with the right. And then there's a question that, are you aware of the various roles you play? Now it is not just one role that we play in our life, there are so many roles that we are playing at the same time. And like at this age, you are a student, you are a son or a daughter, you are a friend, you are a member of the society, of the country, and or of the nation also. So we play so many roles, and with each role there we have certain rights, and at the same time with each role, when we have rights, we also have certain responsibilities attached to that role. And so many times we are all for rights, but we forget that we have to perform our responsibilities also, and that the many times the students or people feel that, okay, he is at such a high place, and we also are we any less than that person? We also could have become that very easily. But it is very difficult, because if you have a greater role, then that means you have a greater responsibility also attached to it. So here is the story to understand that how rights and responsibilities, they go hand in hand. Okay. Now, Syracuse was the richest city of Sicily, and there ruled a king called Dionysius. And now he lived in a very magnificent, very huge, very beautiful palace, and obviously a king. So no shortage of wealth and all. So he had everything that a person's heart could desire of, and there were many servants, which carried out everything he commanded. Any word out of the mouth of the king, and it was done. And he simply had to express his desire, and his servants, they will go to the lengths of the ends of the earth to fulfill what he wanted to be done. And so many people, they envied Dionysius, and they thought that he was such a lucky man. And among the people who thought him to be lucky was Democles, and he was the king's best friend. Now Democles, he was the king's best friend, and each day Democles, now he told the king that how lucky he was, and means all the time he was talking about that how lucky the king was, and how everything he had, and he had so many servants, and everyone was ready to do everything for him, and he could give command to anyone, and he doesn't have to do so. Like he was always telling the king that how lucky the king was. And till one day, and Dionysius, he really got tired of listening to him saying the same thing over and over again. And so one day he said that, do you really believe that, my friend, that you really think that I am the luckiest man in Syracuse? So Democles said that, yes, of course I do. And you obviously are the richest of the most luckiest man, because with your wealth and your power, you have so much wealth and you have so much power, obviously you have no care in the world. and all your liabilities are met for, and whatever you want to do, you simply have to just express a desire and everything will be done for you. You don't have to strive for it so much. You have everything. And uh, because you're carefree and you are the luckiest man, because you don't have a worry. Everything is done for you. You don't need to worry about anything. You simply have to say. And so the king said that, okay, in that case, why don't you change places with me? And now Democles was like that, I know that can never be, but if you allow me to have your riches and power just for one day, that itself will make me very happy. So the king's best friend said that, okay, obviously I know that I can never be king in place of you, but even if I could have your riches and your power just for one day, I think that also will make me very happy. And so Dionysus said, okay, very well. Now tomorrow shall be your day, and you will be king in place of me. And so the next morning he ordered his servants in the palace to treat Democles as the king. And so how great his friend felt the next day. And he wore the king's crown, and he was dressed in the robes that the king wore, and he was waited upon by so many attendants at every means. People were ready to do as he said, and he felt that he was the happiest man in the world. And Dionysius, he sat and he saw that his friend was really enjoying his day as king. So Democles was like, what a joy. And like he could not get over it, and he raised a glass of wine to his lips and smiled across the table at his king. So they were having food, and so he raised a glass of wine to drink, and then he smiled across to his to his friend at the table. And as he raised his glass, as he raised his glass to drink, so his head tilted, it went back a little, and he saw that a sword was hanging over his head, and it hung from only a single hair of horse, and the sword was almost touching him. And if you can see in the picture that is given here on page 29, so he was smiling and he was so happy. But as soon as he saw this sword hanging over him, the smile, it froze on his lips, and he was afraid. He turned white, means his skin lost all color, because he was so afraid, so fearful, and he wanted to get up from the table and run out of the room, but he was unable to move. Why? Because that glittering sword, it pointed just between his eyes. It was like there, because he tilted his head to drink, and so the sword, it was pointing just here. And so Dionysius asked, what's the matter, my friend, and why you look so pale? Why you have lost all color? And so Democles was like, what is this sword doing here? And any moment this because it is hanging from the horse hair, and any moment the hair could snap, it could break, and the sword will strike me down. And so he said that, haven't you seen it before? And so Dionysus said that, of course I have seen it, and I see it every day. It always hangs over my head, and it threatens to strike me down any moment. And someone so the king went on to explain that someone might even cut that thread, and perhaps someone can attack my kingdom, and the person who doesn't want to be king. And so he said, do you understand? What he wanted to say is that the life of a king is full of the troubles. You don't know at what moment there are so many enemies, and anyone could poison him, anyone could kill him, even people close to him. And you know how the history goes, that many times people of your own same family, even sons, have killed their fathers for the throne. And so that is what he tried to explain to him. And he said that, do you understand what I am saying, my friend? That if you want to be a king, then you must also be willing to accept the risks that come with it. And with rights, it come responsibilities also, and these are just the opposite sides of the same coin. And so he tried to explain to his friend through all this, that it is not just a very happy thing and a very carefree thing, and that it does not mean that because he has so much wealth and so much power, and because he is the king, that he does not have any worry or he does not have any responsibility. Being a king means that there is a thought, that there is a sword hanging over your head, just by being there, tied by a horse hair, and any moment that hair could snap and you will be dead. So what he tried to explain to his friend was that it is not what you see on the outside, because because what his friend saw was his wealth and power, but along with that wealth and power, he was the king, and he had to do everything for the welfare of his people, and his life was there for the welfare of the people. And being that, doing that, so many enemies, so many want the place and the position that the king had, so his life always hung with that uh, sword which was hanging there by that horse hair. So, rights, to conclude, we could say the rights are things that we all the humans deserve, and they are very fundamental to a person's well-being. And no matter where the people live or where they are, and uh, but still everyone has certain rights. But a responsibility is something which a person is expected to do. Rights you get for free, but there is, in return to that right, you also are expected to perform some responsibilities, and it is something that affects, these responsibilities affects the life of the person concerned, and also the life of the others. And since rights are for everybody, we also have to take responsibility. It is not that you just take and you don't give anything in return. So when we take rights, we also have to take responsibilities, and we have to perform the responsibilities that come along with it. And so we could say that rights and responsibilities are just like two sides of the same coin. And whenever and wherever you have any rights, now that means is that you also have responsibilities too. And uh, we have rights in the same measure as we have responsibilities or duties. So the higher, the more you have rights, the more you will have the responsibilities or the duties. And if we want to have rights, then we have to act in a responsible way, so that the others can have their rights also. So if we want to have more rights, then we should be ready to take up more responsibilities, so that others people also don't suffer, and they also can enjoy their own rights. So that was the chapter. Understood, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you learn from this chapter? Yes, is Harshita there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta, tell me.
Ma'am, if we have rights, we also have to take our responsibilities. And, ma'am, we should fulfill our responsibilities very nicely. Um, yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, anyone else? Ashita, Noreen, Sanya, anyone?
Ma'am, I think we should talk about when we are able to fulfill our the responsibilities, and then only we should talk about the rights to be given.
Okay. And very one more very important thing, we should not be envious of others' position. All right? Because if the other person has a greater role, that means he has greater responsibilities to fulfill also. So never be envious of others' position, because you don't know the shoes that person is wearing, the responsibilities that come along with uh, being on that position. So if you want a greater role or more rights, then always be ready to take up more responsibilities.